back door in case it ever comes out in a big way later. Also, the re-election launch bid. But Webster, I want to continue why they're doing this, why they're going after Pakistan right now. But first, before we get into more detail there, how is it going? Studying what's happening with them, how is this going for the power structure right now?
Well, obviously, there's a lot of international attention to the bungling side of it, but in terms of the overall judgment, this is not clear because we have to remember that the main problem now is that the danger of the false flag terror attack attributed to this. As we went into the weekend, or at the middle of the weekend, by Saturday night, the danger was a false flag terror attack attributed to Libya, pinned on Libya in the wake of the attempt to assassinate Gaddafi, and indeed the assassination of his son and 3 grandchildren, little kids. Now, as of Sunday, the main danger shifts to a false flag terror attack, possibly attributed to Al-Qaeda, but you also have CIA spokesmen, informal ones, coming forward to say there will be a new terror attack, we would say a false flag event, with the attempt to attribute this to the Inter-Services Intelligence Service of Pakistan, the Pakistani version of the CIA. So I think right now it's maximum alert. And remember, the key to all this is when drills go live, when exercises are flipped live and taken live, this is when these tragic events occur. The build-up in regard to Pakistan, there was a very harsh statement by the United States in one of these terror reports about 4 to 5 weeks ago, about the time that Bandar went to Islamabad. We then had this Ray Davis case, which you point out, with a lot of accusations being made in the Pakistani media about possible activities as a terror controller and possible involvement in the attempt to create a radiological dirty bomb. Let's think about that, because that may be the template that's going to be used.
Then they say we've got to go in and have war and take the nukes away from Pakistan. But expanding on that, first they said Davis wasn't CIA. Later they had to admit he is CIA. So just this continued wall of deception, and the system is losing all credibility as they're caught in more lies.
Certainly, on the international level, this is for sure. We also then had this question of Admiral Mullen going to Pakistan and saying, you guys work with the Haqqani network, you're no good. And then we had WikiLeaks, the famous CIA limited hangout operation, putting out all this stuff about how the center of gravity of Al-Qaeda is really in Pakistan. So WikiLeaks doing its job for the CIA once again.
Absolutely. Stay there, Webster. I want to break down this looming maximum alert false flag.
Concerned about radioactive fallout? The #1 way by which your body protects itself from radiation or any other free radical is with glutathione. Glutathione is the most ubiquitous antioxidant in the body. The #1 mechanism for removing toxic elements from the body is glutathione. In order for your body to make optimal levels of glutathione, it needs an abundance of the amino acid cysteine. The highest dietary source of cysteine is non-denatured whey protein powder from grass-fed cows. The most non-denatured whey protein powder on the market is One World Whey. One World Whey is an industry first with its True Cool process. It retains all the active components of fresh raw whey. One World Whey is rich in immune, bodybuilding, and detoxification factors that make it a life-giving power food for everyone. One World Whey is sweetened with cold-processed stevia and comes in 3 delicious flavors. To hear some impressive testimonies, go to oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworldwhey.com. Or call 888-988-3325.
$349, $359, $379. How much pain at the pump can you handle? Ease your pain now. Did you know you can increase gas mileage by 25 to 45% or even as high as 60% by adding water? Go to SaveYourGasMoney.com and learn how you can save an average of $750 to $1,850 per year with our hydrogen on-demand technology. Running our hydrogen gas through your engine is the equivalent of using 140 octane fuel. See how it works at SaveYourGasMoney.com. We have 2 complete systems for all cars, trucks, and SUVs for gas and diesel diesel engines. Our gas-saving stainless steel units install easily in about 2 hours with no engine modifications and no extra parts needed. It's completely safe, American-made, requires no maintenance, comes with a lifetime warranty, great technical support, and same-day shipping. Visit SaveYourGasMoney.com or call 888-887-9981. That's 888-887-9981. Ease your pain at the pump with SaveYourGasMoney.com.
Who is Sam Andy? Sam Andy Foods is life insurance in a can. Life insurance you can eat. Sam Andy Foods has been serving loyal customers worldwide for over 50 years. Why so long? Simple. Sam Andy Foods have perfected the taste and quality of low-moisture foods. Foods that last 15 to 25 years. And that's made us an industry leader among families, sportsmen, outdoorsmen, churches, schools, people living in remote areas, U.S. troops in wartime, and many others. Sam Andy is America's leading supplier of over 100 high-quality, low-moisture products and everything you need to survive in any emergency. Visit SamAndy.com today for your free full-color catalog and free trial subscription to the Survival Times newsletter. That's SamAndy.com. Just like it sounds, SamAndy.com. Or call toll-free 1-888-331-0358. Your one-stop shop for everything your family needs to prepare for any emergency. Sam Andy Foods. Life insurance in a can.
Over the last year, Alex has told you about, and many of you have experienced, emergencies and disasters in unprecedented numbers. People have had to literally run for their lives. Folks, this is Steve Shank with eFoods Direct. I'm not here to scare you, but when disaster strikes, you won't have time to think. You must act automatically. What does a pilot do when the helicopter engine fails in flight? No time to think, just act automatically. When the alert is broadcast, the alarm sounds, or the knock comes on your door, you'll need to be ready to act without thinking of what to do or what you need. You need a 5-day extreme emergency kit. With serious supplies and real food to secure 2 adults for 5 days, this powerful $300 extreme emergency kit is free with an order of at least $995 from eFoods Direct. Go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex or call 800-409-5633. That's efoodsdirect.com/Alex. 800-409-5633.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is not some fancy of radio that we're here. Ooh, the maximum alert is here. I totally agree with Webster Tarpley. This weekend, Tarpley was here during the week, but this weekend we had another person here in town to be interviewed for a film, and we were all in there eating barbecue, and I said, I feel the greatest disturbance in my gut I've ever felt. And I told my wife, I told people in the office, I said, I think it's war. And obviously you study intellectual information, and then basically your subconscious analyzes it and is more powerful than your conscious and tells you, man, this is bad. But I was able from the chatter pre-9/11 to predict that they would blow up the World Trade Centers and blame it on their CIA asset, Bin Laden, because I saw the pre-programming. It was very obvious. They are in CBS News everywhere. They put out news the last month that Al-Qaeda's got nukes buried. WikiLeaks, that they're going to detonate nukes in Europe and the U.S. if he's killed. That comes out right before. I mean, come on. Folks, it's the scripting. It's like watching a bad drama. It's so fake. And you can just see it all happening. So when Webster Tarpley's telling you this, they're already hyping. And notice the circular logic. We go into the Middle East, Bin Laden attacks us, we have a 10-year war. It's actually several trillion that have been spent, hundreds of billions domestically every year. It's not hundreds of billions, it's in the trillions now overall in the aggregate. And the circular logic is, now we kill him, and now here's the new 4 Bin Ladens. You cut one head of the snake, 4 more. And on record, a whole bunch of them are globalist. I mean, on record at the Pentagon. And now we're going to have to kill them, and then there'll be even more terror attacks, and it just never ends. And Webster, they're on CBS News, you name it, saying now there are going to be checkpoints at all the malls, grocery stores. Everyone will have to be searched. I mean, this is again, to heighten the paranoia, Webster.
Well, we have now a situation where the U.S.-British imperialism, it doesn't really have an enemy image. And this, of course, is something they always want to have. For quite a while, it was the Soviet Union and world communism and the Warsaw Pact, or maybe Red China. Then it became, of course, Bin Laden and terrorism.
So they have to attack us again to introduce the new Bin Laden.
Yeah, some new enemy image has to be fabricated fairly quickly, given especially the tremendous economic and social crisis in this country. I'm interested to hear what you say, Alex, because my feeling is Sarajevo, 22nd of June, 1914, right? This assassination of an Austrian archduke by Serbs, egged on by the British and some French. And then 5 weeks later, you have the outbreak of World War I, the catastrophe. And in that period of 5 to 6 weeks, people write that they were living in a trance. They were in a dream world. They thought that the problem had been solved. They didn't think that there would be any general war. And precisely when they were most in the land of dreams and la-la land, that's when the mobilization started and the war became a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, I think I think right now we're probably gonna. Right now, if people don't get the word out we're probably going to have World War III. And I want to come back briefly, or start now, how that's going to unfold. Obviously, they strike Pakistan, claiming they're trying to get the nukes. They're now framing Pakistan, as you said months ago they would do, claiming they're working with al-Qaeda. Then the Chinese get involved, the Indians come in, and the Middle East blows up even more, right as the dollar's plunging. I mean, you can see all the classic ingredients. As you've said, when the dollar starts going down, they start a war, and then they're going to blow up a bunch of stuff domestically, crack down on the media and say, we got to arrest people that say the government's doing it, and pull the plug on the web, the internet kill switch, and then all the good old boys will be worshiping Obama, and that's it. And the bankers win, and we're all enslaved, and the FEMA camps are opened up.
This is the moment when something like a general strike would normally come to mind as perhaps the only adequate response. In other words, a mass movement against the possibility of imminent war. The problem we have right now is that the left liberal opposition, the main forces of the peace movement that were deployed against Bush and Cheney up until 2007 or so, have now switched over into the warmonger camp. And if you watch the programs on MSNBC, if you watch the foundation-funded leftists who were such great enemies of Bush and Cheney, they are now bloodthirsty warmongers. They're calling for essentially attacks on Pakistan, or they're setting the stage for that. And we should remember, Pakistan is a huge country. It's almost 200 million people. There are nuclear weapons, and it just so happens that the supply line for the U.S. forces in Afghanistan goes across Pakistan, from the port of Karachi up through Pakistan, across the Khyber Pass. That is a supply line.
Webster, let's talk about the time frame. I mean, is this a bluff to get the Saudis to go back and grovel to the Anglo-American establishment? How's it going to end? How could World War III start? Where do you think they'll launch their false flag and teach us to love them?
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Do you want to learn more about preparing for the hard times ahead? Have you ever thought about actually getting off the grid and becoming truly self-reliant? Introducing Off the Grid News, a weekly newsletter for independent Americans who want practical advice on how to survive and even prosper in an increasingly dangerous world. It's the best way to get a black belt in emergency preparedness, survival skills, and off-the-grid living. Packed with hard-hitting information on gardening, food preparation, alternative energy, and home security, there's simply nothing like it. And the best part, this $100 annual subscription is now free of charge. Simply sign up today and you'll also get our hard-hitting report, Food Shock, Why 2011 Could Be the Single Most Important Year in American History to Plant a Family Garden. It's absolutely free for listeners who sign up at offthegridnews.net. That's offthegridnews.net. Get your free Food Shock right now at offthegridnews.net.
America, you've been warned. For weeks, we've been warning you about a single event we believe will happen in the next 12 months that will shake the very foundations of our nation. We've told you about the video that details this shocking prediction. So far, over 6 million people have watched this free video online. Have you? Again, this big event has nothing to do with war or the stock market, yet it could change everything about your normal way of life. the way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your family. Could this really happen? Well, the man who created this video has been right about many predictions in his career. He was among the first to predict the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. If you haven't taken time to watch this free video, do it right now. You may never think about America the same way again. You can find the free video at endofamerica3.com. Again, that's www.endofamerica,